most importantly, this island inspired an animated movie that all three of us loved as little girls, Princess Mononoke. So we have to go. So fast forward to our hike. A taxi drops us off at 5 a.m. in front of what can only be described as Jurassic Park, minus the dinosaurs. There's lime green moss covering these gigantic boulders and 1,000-year-old cedar trees. It's really beautiful. I take a deep breath, and rich, earthy smells are mixing with this cool, fresh mountain air. I feel like I've been transported back in time to my own personal prehistoric paradise, if you will. And I look over at my friends, and I see that they too are totally in awe of this magical, idyllic place. It's spectacular. So we take it all in, and we start on our 10-hour hike. It's a good one. And everything is going beautifully for the first 8 hours. It's wonderful. It feels like we're in this enchanted forest. But then it starts to rain. And we've got rain gear and proper hiking boots. But somehow I still manage to slip on a tree root and twist my knee real bad. Dad remembers picking me up from the airport in a wheelchair. So I make it through. We keep calm and carry on, right? As you do. Slowly. And eventually we get to Jomonsugi and celebrate. This is the oldest tree in all of Japan. And also, the end of our trail. Thank goodness. So we laugh and we celebrate and we take silly pictures. And as I'm watching all the other hikers that have stopped to take pictures, they're going in the opposite direction. Now my knee is throbbing, but now my spidey sense is tingling. I talked to one of the hikers going by, and it turns out that everybody's going deeper into the forest to stay overnight. There are no shuttle buses from this part of the island, which we were waiting for. We gotta hike back. Yeah. We've got no gear, no water at this point, so things are looking great. One of the girls decides that she's gonna run ahead and try to call a cab to come and get us from the exit, because we're about 4 or 5 hours from the closest exit, and even that exit is still another hour drive from town. So we need like a cab or something to come and pick us up. So she graciously takes my backpack so that it's easier for me to walk. And I'm left with my friend Naoko, an apple, we have no water, my cell phone, in case we get a signal, and my ID, because I'm thinking worst case, and I want to be identified if something happens. Now, I keep my negative thoughts to myself, but they're there. Naoko and we decide that because of my condition, our best bet is to take these abandoned railway tracks, because the train's flat. It's going to take a little bit longer, but it seems like the safer option, so that's what we do. And after a few hours, the sun starts to set. It's getting dark now. And Naoko likes to get rid of her nervous energy by doing this thing where she loops out ahead to see what's going on and then comes back to me. So she's doing one of these. And I am alone with my thoughts for the majority of this time. This abandoned railway is over 100 years old. It passes through an abandoned village. There are wild animals everywhere. And now it's dark, and it's raining. At this point, I'm beginning to wonder why we didn't take the all-inclusive option. We went on this hike instead. I don't know. So as she's doing her loops, and I'm doing my loops, I can see her flashlight fade as she gets far away, and then she comes back. But then at one point, the light disappears. After 5 minutes, I start to get nervous. After 10 minutes, I'm panicking. And then after 15 minutes, I get to the edge of a bridge, and I see a blue flashlight on the side by the cliff. And immediately, I assume the worst. I'm frantic. I am on the verge of tears. I'm screaming her name, "Naoko!" And I think my friend's probably dead. I'm in no condition to climb down and see if I can rescue her. So my best option is to continue on, and if I make it out alive, I'll bring back help. Sorry, this is tough. So I keep walking, and I'm thinking about all of the things that are going wrong, right? It's dark and it's raining. I'm alone. I don't know where anybody else in the world is. I think my friend might be dead. I'm worried that I'm gonna die too. I don't know what I'm gonna do. So I start formulating this plan B where I spend the night in an outhouse if I can find one. But really things are looking quite bleak. And I hike and I just keep going and try not to let my thoughts get the best of me. But then after 20 minutes, I do see a light. And it's Naoko. And she is crying. And I realize at this point, she's even more scared than I am. I'm relieved that she's alive, and I'm glad that I'm not alone. And despite my knee, she clutches onto me for support as we're crossing these bridges. At one point, we get to a sign that we can't quite decipher. It says in Japanese, "Not a mountain road," and then some random name. And so she goes, "Oh, let's take a look at the map." At this point, I do a double take. I think I'm in some sort of hidden camera show. Map? We have a map? This whole time, we've been looking at these intermittently posted trail guides. But anyway, so we're hunched over the map using my handy cell phone flashlight that's at 20% and rapidly declining. And I realize, oh my goodness, I've got a signal. It's weak, but it's a signal. And so I get her to call 119, their emergency service. And then I tell her, stop your nervous pacing, because I don't want to lose this precious signal that we finally have. So she gets connected with the police dispatch on the next island over, and they take down all of our details and then connect her with the Yakushima police. They tell us we're about 30 minutes from the closest exit, and help is on the way. No poop palace for us tonight, guys. So about an hour later, the rescue car finds us. They've got water and blankets, and we all breathe a sigh of relief. In Japanese, the word you use is yokatta. Thank goodness. A lot of yokattas got thrown around that night. So the rescue car takes us back to the police station where our other friend is. And also the owner of the inn where we're staying, because he got so worried about us when we didn't get back that afternoon that he contacted the police. So he drives us back to our lodging. Him and his friends and their wives have made us this delicious dinner and have prepared warm baths for us. And just like that, all was right with the world. So what I learned from this trip is, yes, getting lost is scary. And yes, being injured sucks. It sucks, right? But there is nothing worse than feeling completely alone. For me, the most important thing is my connection with other people. That is my paradise. Thank you, guys.